When celebrities sit down on talk shows, they're often grilled with tough questions and unexpected remarks. But sometimes the tables turn and the stars steal the spotlight with epic comebacks. Here are the top 20 celebs who clapped back at talk show hosts. 20. Carmen Carrera. You may not have heard of Carmen Carrera, but she is no stranger to the television world. Carmen is a transgender model who appeared on Katie Couric's short-lived TV show where she faced intrusive questions about her transition. Couric asked if the transition process was painful and whether her parts had changed, which visibly made Carrera uncomfortable. Despite this, Carmen gracefully redirected the conversation, expressing her desire to focus on her modeling career and life post-transition. When actress Laverne Cox joined the discussion, she highlighted that focusing on transition in surgery diverts attention from critical issues, like the violence and discrimination that transgender people disproportionately face in society. 19. Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama is no stranger to Ellen DeGeneres' playful antics, having appeared on her show multiple times and always holding her own. This was especially clear during a segment where the two went on a shopping trip to CVS. Ellen's antics, like opening unpaid store items, not helping at self-checkout, and announcing that Michelle needed cream for a rash, led Michelle to jokingly call her out for being annoying and acting like a child. Michelle also humorously shut down Ellen's request to be featured on American Money, pointing out that it requires a significant achievement like Harriet Tubman's. 18. Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers was known for her unapologetic humor, and her interview with CNN anchor Frederica Whitfield was no exception. When Whitfield mentioned Rivers' mean style of comedy, the veteran comedian became increasingly irritated. Rivers quickly began to clap back, pointing out the hypocrisy of Whitfield criticizing her for wearing fur while wearing leather shoes herself. She also told Whitfield that she wasn't the right person to interview someone who does humor. Before storming out of the interview, Rivers made it clear that she wasn't holding back and definitely got the last word. 17. Chris Christie. When Chris Christie appeared on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon in 2015, he and Fallon began by sharing stories from their summer vacations in Wolfboro, New Hampshire. However, the conversation took a turn when Fallon made a joke about Christie's weight after the former New Jersey governor mentioned getting ice cream. Fallon's comment implied Christie was especially excited for the treat, prompting Christie to jokingly take a bow and walk off stage. Though he returned to finish the interview, Christie quipped that if he ever left public life, Fallon would need to hire 2 writers just to replace the jokes made at his expense. 16. Lil' Kim. Wendy Williams and Lil' Kim, both known for their confrontations with celebrities, clashed after Williams made remarks on her show about Lil' Kim's appearance. The feud started when Lil' Kim accused news outlets of photoshopping her images, which Williams disagreed with. Instead, Williams mocked the rapper's plastic surgery, suggesting she should blame your plastic surgeon, girl. Unsurprisingly, Lil' Kim didn't take this lightly and responded on Twitter, referencing Williams' alleged hookup with the notorious B.I.G. This exchange added fuel to their ongoing feud, highlighting their history of tense interactions. 15. Jane Fonda. Actress Jane Fonda surely made a name for herself in Hollywood. While promoting her movie Our Souls at Night on Megyn Kelly Today, legendary actress Jane Fonda was visibly taken aback by a question from the host about her plastic surgery. Although Fonda has been open about her experiences with cosmetic procedures, she made it clear that she felt a promotional interview was not the appropriate time for such personal questions. When Megyn Kelly asked if she was proud to have had work done, Fonda responded by asking if they really wanted to talk about that right now, before gracefully steering the conversation back to the movie. 14. Nikki DeJager. For many, appearing on the Ellen DeGeneres Show is a dream come true. But for YouTuber Nikki DeJager, known as Nikki Tutorials, the experience didn't meet expectations. After being blackmailed into publicly coming out as transgender, Nikki was invited on the show to discuss the ordeal and her experience as a transgender woman. While Ellen praised her on screen for her strength and courage, Nikki later revealed that the behind-the-scenes experience was far less welcoming. She accused Ellen of being cold and claimed the show treated her differently compared to more prominent A-list guests. 13. Cher. Cher is known for her strong presence on talk shows, and her long-awaited interview with David Letterman was no exception. The segment is filled with witty exchanges, but one of the standout moments comes when David spends the opening minutes awkwardly asking Cher about her perfume. Growing impatient, Cher sarcastically asks, "Is this as good as it gets?" She doesn't hold back for the rest of the interview, bluntly telling David that she only agreed to appear on the show because she wanted him to cover her hotel bill. She also famously called him a certain unflattering word during their banter. 12. Mark Ruffalo. Ellen DeGeneres faced controversy after being seen with former President George W. Bush at a football game. In response, she defended herself on her show, stating that she was friends with many people who didn't share her beliefs. However, her comments only intensified the backlash online, including from fellow celebrities. Mark Ruffalo took to Twitter, arguing that discussions of kindness should be put aside until Bush is held accountable for the Iraq War. 11. James Corden. You won't see the next celebrity coming. Bill Maher, known for his politically incorrect remarks, faced backlash after suggesting that fat shaming should make a comeback. One of his prominent critics was fellow talk show host James Corden. On his show, Corden responded by arguing that fat shaming never truly disappeared and highlighting its harmful effects on mental health. While largely focusing on countering Maher's argument and making lighthearted jabs at the controversial host, Corden also humorously referenced his own struggles with weight. He suggested that Maher should adopt a more constructive approach to addressing the issue. 10. Aziz Ansari. Aziz Ansari is a stand-up comedian you don't want to mess with. He once had a playful exchange with Stephen Colbert on The Late Show, when Colbert joked that their presence on the show was a notable diversity milestone for CBS. Ansari responded that such diversity was indeed an all-time high for the network. The conversation then took a humorous turn as they joked about a fact-checking error where Colbert mistakenly referred to Ansari's book by the wrong title. Ansari quipped that such mistakes might lead to someone getting fired, humorously adding that it would likely be a white person given the predominance of white staff. 9. Little Mix. When Little Mix released the video for their song Strip, which featured women of all body shapes and sizes in minimal clothing to promote body positivity, it drew criticism from Good Morning Britain host Piers Morgan. He argued that if men did the same thing, they would be arrested, and claimed the nudity was just a marketing tactic. During an interview, band member Jesse Nelson responded sharply to Morgan's comments, calling him out. Morgan then demanded an apology from the group on International Men's Day. Although Little Mix did not appear on Good Morning Britain, they included a clip of Morgan's demands in the intro of their LM5 tour. 8. Nicki Minaj. This rapper got fed up with Wendy Williams. Wendy, known for her controversial takes, stirred up drama when she commented on Nicki Minaj's marriage to Kenneth Petty, highlighting his criminal past. Minaj responded during a radio interview, accusing Williams of hypocrisy. She pointed out that Williams hosts rappers who discuss violent themes but overlooks their criminal records, arguing that Petty had served his time. Minaj also criticized Williams for focusing on her personal life and ex-husband Kevin Hunter's affair, suggesting that Williams' vicious reporting funded Hunter's mistress's lifestyle. Minaj ended with a personal note, expressing sympathy for Williams, suggesting her behavior stems from personal hurt. 7. John Legend. Following the death of boxing legend Muhammad Ali, Piers Morgan sparked controversy with a tweet comparing Ali's inflammatory remarks about white people to Donald Trump's comments about Muslims. Morgan also expressed a wish not to be idealized after his death. John Legend and Chrissy Teigen were notably displeased. Legend responded on Twitter suggesting Morgan should retire, while Teigen criticized Morgan's approach, stating that trolling isn't a legitimate job. 6. Hasan Minhaj. During his 2019 appearance on The Ellen DeGeneres Show, Hasan Minhaj addressed Ellen's mispronunciation of his name, pointing out that while it wasn't as severe as the infamous Adele Dazeem moment, it was still notable. Minhaj used the opportunity to call out the hypocrisy of people who mispronounce his name while easily saying other unusual celebrity names like Ansel Elgort. 5. Anne Hathaway. During her appearance on The Today Show to promote Les Miserables, Anne Hathaway faced an uncomfortable interview with then-disgraced host Matt Lauer. Lauer awkwardly referenced a recent paparazzi photo of Hathaway that exposed her dress, making the interview extremely inappropriate. He asked what Hathaway had learned from the incident, implying blame on her rather than the invasive photographers. Hathaway responded with remarkable poise, expressing sadness that such a personal moment was exploited and sold, rather than treated with respect and decency. She emphasized her disappointment in the lack of privacy and integrity in the media. 4. Jerry Seinfeld. When Jerry Seinfeld appeared on Larry King Live, the interview took an awkward turn as the conversation shifted to the Seinfeld finale. Larry King mistakenly inquired if the show was canceled or if Seinfeld had canceled it. Seinfeld, seemingly bewildered by King's lack of knowledge, asked to see King's resume and questioned if he even knew who Seinfeld was. Though it's unclear if Seinfeld was genuinely offended or just joking, the exchange made it clear that questions about the cancellation of Seinfeld would be avoided in the future. 3. Zendaya. During the 2015 Academy Awards, Zendaya received unwelcome comments from Giuliana Rancic on Fashion Police about her dreadlocks, with Rancic inappropriately suggesting the hairstyle made Zendaya smell like patchouli oil or weed. The remarks sparked significant backlash from viewers and online. Zendaya responded on Instagram expressing her discontent and labeling the comments as outrageously offensive and a large stereotype. She emphasized that such remarks should not go unchecked and used the situation as an opportunity to educate others on the impact of stereotypes and cultural appropriation. 2. Jimmy Kimmel. Bringing Jimmy Kimmel, a close friend of Conan O'Brien, onto the Jay Leno show amid the Leno-O'Brien feud was a bold move, but it made for a great entertainment. During a segment called 10 at 10, Kimmel joined via webcam to answer questions. When asked about his Jay Leno impression, Kimmel humorously revealed it involved a mix of Sylvester the Cat, Curly from the Three Stooges, and Scrappy Doo. He also used the opportunity to throw shade at Leno, commenting on his appearance, his canceled show, and the ongoing feud with O'Brien, joking about a prank where Leno was given and then quickly reclaimed his own show. 1. Dakota Johnson. When Dakota Johnson appeared on the Ellen DeGeneres Show, things became awkward quickly. Ellen questioned Johnson about not inviting her to her 30th birthday party, which Johnson clarified she did invite Ellen to, despite Ellen's claims otherwise. It was only when Ellen's producer confirmed the invite that Ellen conceded. The conversation then shifted to Dakota's favorite comedian, who, notably, was not Ellen. This wasn't the first time Dakota called out a talk show host. She previously humorously confronted Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show for interrupting her while she was speaking. If you like this video, don't forget to share and subscribe. Also, let us know in the comments who surprised you in this list of celebs who clapped back at talk show hosts.